Hi all, welcome to our channel, Movie Tellers. Today we are going to review 2009 romantic comedy film, The Rebound. But before going forward, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get the updates of our upcoming videos. The story starts with the introduction of Sandy, a housewife and mother of 2 children. After dropping her children to the school and completing her daily house chores, Sandy watching a video of her son's 6th birthday party and inadvertently seeing footage of her husband getting a blowjob from another woman. After sports, she has kept a detailed series of binders based on the stats of notable sports teams and athletes, which comes in useful when she applies to work at a news network. Meanwhile, Aram is a 25-year-old young man who is a bit confused as to what he wants to do with his life, and his love life is on the rocks since his French wife left him for her fake brother in a green card scheme. He ended up applying for a part-time job at a women's center. One day, Sandy makes an appearance at the coffee shop where Aram works, looking for a place to rent. His friend shows her the apartment available upstairs and also tells her that Aram doesn't mind babysitting her kids since he just works downstairs. After encountering the city's harassment, Sandy decided to join the self-defense classes for her and her children's protection. Coincidentally, she joins the same women's center where Aram works for part-time. Aram is asked to wear a fat sumo suit and act as a threatening man. It's a pretty humiliating job for Aram, and he gets thrown around and beat up by all the tough women taking that class. In particular, Sandy is asked to unleash her ocean of anger on the perpetrator, represented by Aram in his fat suit. Sandy channels all her anger and attacks Aram until he is a bruised and pathetic mess. Later on, Sandy is embarrassed to find out that Aram is the man under the fat suit. She apologizes to him and asks him if he can babysit her kids while she goes on a date, since he must be trustworthy if he works at the women's center. At Thursday, just before she can leave for her date, she gave Aram the proper guidance to handle the kids and put them to sleep at the same time. Her date is a bit of a self-absorbed jerk who keeps ranting about her bone structure and giving her awkward and slightly sexual massages that make Sandy uncomfortable. He is a chiropractor. Meanwhile, Sandy's kids love Aram, as he is comfortable behaving like a kid himself. Sandy sabotages her own date with her insecurity and awkwardness, since it's been a long time since she's last dated someone. When Sandy returns after her horrible date, she is drunk and depressed, all of which Aram must witness. The next day, Aram rushes into Sandy's room because her kids were screaming that their mother was dead. When Sandy wakes up, she at first thinks she was sleeping with Aram, but once the situation is clarified, she has such a bad hangover she asks Aram to continue babysitting her kids for him. At work, Sandy impresses her boss with her fresh woman's perspective on sports and gets an opportunity to start writing about sports. When she tells Aram, he inadvertently compliments her by saying she has the face to be a news anchor. The two trade stories about their failed relationships, and in the end, Sandy asks Aram to be the full-time nanny for her kids, a new job which appalls his parents, who think he should be doing something better. They asked him to keep on looking for better jobs which will be best suitable for his profile. Sandy and Aram settle into their new jobs and into the dynamics of their relationship with each other, as Sandy is inadvertently starting to treat Aram as a pseudo-father to her children. As thanks to Aram for babysitting her kids, she gives him a set of tickets to see a big fight. Aram asks Sandy to go with her, since the kids will be with their father the weekend of the fight. After the date, Sandy's ex-husband makes his appearance and pleads that Sandy forgive him and take him back, but he is so chauvinistic, belittling and smug in how he addresses her that Sandy is not in any way willing to return to him. Aram supports her in standing up to her husband by quoting the angry words she said that day she was beating him up at the self-defense workshop. After the incident, Sandy demands that Aram take her out again. Aram, having already promised he would support his best friend Mitch by attending a low-budget play, based on Top Gun, in which his friend is starring, invites Sandy to accompany them. Sandy manages to impress Mitch and his other co-actors with very intelligent comments about the play, despite how horrible the play actually was. They all decide to party together, and Sandy fits in perfectly with the younger crowd, making Aram fall in love with her even more. After the party, Aram and Sandy sleep together and are seen by Frank, who tries to process the situation with his own kid logic. Like a real father would do, Aram tries to explain in gentle and humorous terms what is going on between him and Sandy. They spend Aram's birthday at his parents' house. Sandy gifted him a picture of him with her children, which makes Aram more affectionate towards her. Later on, Sandy introduces Aram to her older, mature friends. They are a bit judgmental about the whole situation and keep teasing Aram for being so young. Aram does manage to impress some of Sandy's friends with his easygoing manner and ability to joke about his situation, too. After the dinner, Aram expresses his love for her and Sandy gets a bit nervous, suggesting they take their relationship slow. Weeks pass and Sandy finds out she is pregnant, news which makes Aram happy but makes her panic. The two decide to go through all the steps to prepare for the pregnancy, including a visit to the doctor. The doctor gives them the sad news that Sandy's pregnancy is ectopic. Though she is saddened, Sandy is also suddenly filled with relief that she will not be trapping Aram into something that he may not be ready for, and that they are two totally different people at different stages in life and that it will never work out between them. She and Aram break up. There is a montage of Aram explaining the sad news to Sandy's kids and then trying to move on. Aram gets a white-collar office job for a few weeks, and then decides to travel around the world to meet new people and get new experiences. When he comes back to New York, he shares his knowledge of the world with little kids at lecture presentations at the local museum. Because he is still in love with Sandy, whenever other women his age ask him to hang out, he isn't interested. Meanwhile, Sandy goes on with her life, now as a sports desk anchor. One day, years later, Sandy and Aram run into each other. Sandy notices the change in Aram. He is more mature and focused in his life. She realizes that she really misses Aram. Aram mentions, jokingly, that he's 30 now. He introduces Sandy to his adopted son, Zeke. Aram hints that it's hard to find a mom that's good enough for them, hinting heavily that he only ever loved Sandy. Sandy invites Aram to come and have dinner with her and her kids. The movie ends with the hint that Sandy and Aram will restart their relationship and perhaps even move forward as they have figured out how much they love each other, and that age doesn't really matter. The end. If you like this video, then do let us know in comment box which movie you want us to review next.